Hello, TK Cougars. It's Mrs. Bellatash, and I'm outside, and it's because I want to become a nature spy. And I think we should be nature spies together. So let's read this book, Nature Spy. So first of all, look at that beautiful picture. Look at those huge leaves. Wow, that is really pretty. I like to go outside to look around and discover things. Wow. Look at those beautiful yellow leaves there. And you can see that she's jumping down the stairs. I can see her hair flying in the air. To take a really close look, even closer and closer. So there's the flower, and a close-up of the flower, and an even closer close-up. When we look closely at something, boys and girls, do you remember? We observe. My mother says I'm a curious kid. She calls me a nature spy. Sometimes I look so closely I can see the lines on a shiny green leaf. Look at that. Look at the lines on that leaf. Do you remember? I called them the veins of the leaf. Or one small acorn on a branch, or seeds in a pod. There's the acorn. And there are the seeds inside that pod. Wow. I noticed the feathers of a bird. I love birds, especially chickens. I love my chickens, and when I look really closely at the feathers of my chickens, I see a lot of patterns. Or the golden eye of a frog. Wow. Really close. Look at that close-up of the frog's eye. Wow, she is a good observer. When you look closely, things look different, like the bark of a tree or an empty hornet's nest, the seeds of a sunflower, or even a rock. So here's the bark of a tree, really close up. Here's a hornet's nest. Look at the beautiful pattern and the geometric shapes. That's a sunflower, really close up. And I know it's hard to believe, but that's actually a rock with a little crack in it. Sometimes there's a pattern, like ice on a frozen pond, or a spider's web, or a butterfly's wing. Look at that pattern. You see the needles of the ice? Oh, I saw a beautiful spider's web outside my door this morning. And look at that beautiful butterfly wing. Everything has its own shape and color and size. Wow, there's a pumpkin. There's a close-up of the pumpkin. And boys and girls, look at this. That is a really big pumpkin. Look closely at a turtle's shell. So there's the turtle. I have turtles in the science lab. And if you look really closely at the turtle shell, you see a pattern. A turtle shell is made out of the same things that your fingernails are made out of. Or a dog's fur. So there's the dog. Oh, I like dogs. And this is a close-up of the dog's fur. Wow. or even raspberries or kernels of corn. I like raspberries. And look at that corn. Wow, it looks good. I'd like to eat that corn. No matter where you look, up, down, or all around. Look, there's a tree changing its colors. The leaves are changing its colors. And there are some leaves that have fallen down. Look at that beautiful forest and the water. There's always something to see when you're a nature spy. And there she is. She's a nature spy. All right, we are going to take a closer look at some of our leaves. So boys and girls, do you remember when we went out and we collected a whole bunch of different leaves that were different sizes and different shapes, and then we pressed them in a magazine or a book? I'm going to take out one or two of my leaves and I'm going to do a drawing, a coloring over top of them. And when I do that, I'll be able to see a lot of detail about the leaf. So here's from the stem of the leaf, and you can see the lines going up, and those are the veins of the leaf, right? And I want to see if the other one has it as well. Yes, do you see the veins of the leaf? So one really fun thing to do is to do something called mustache coloring. So you know how a mustache is like this under your nose? So if you take your crayon and you take the paper off and you color with the side of the crayon, you can see a lot of detail. So I'm going to take my leaf and I'm going to put it underneath my paper. And now I'm going to take my crayon and I'm going to do mustache coloring. Wow, look at this. Isn't that beautiful? So that is my leaf. And now I'm going to take this leaf out. And I'm going to use this other leaf, and this time I'm going to use blue. Sometimes it's fun to use a different color. I'm going to use blue, and I'm going to put it up here in this space. It's fun to sometimes have it overlap. So I'm going to have it go like this. Oh boy, that's so pretty. All right, and I'm going to take my leaf out. So here is my mustache coloring showing the details of the leaves. So I did mine on the board, but boys and girls, I want you to do yours in your science notebook. Open up the next page, and you're going to put your name at the top, and then I want you to do a mustache coloring over a leaf. So put a leaf underneath the paper, put the paper over the top of the leaf, and get your crayon and color from the side. Use the side of the crayon and you'll see all this beautiful detail. Now, this says veins, and that's what you can see in my picture. All right, you guys are nature spies. See you next time, Cougars.